Your cat is purring, settled in your lap. Everything is perfect. You keep petting, same spot, same rhythm, and then, out of nowhere, teeth. No growl, no hiss, just a bite, and then they're gone. You sit there wondering what you did wrong. Here's the thing, you did get a warning, 5 of them. You just didn't know what you were looking at. 1, the bite that came out of nowhere, except it didn't. There's a name for what just happened. Behaviourists call it petting-induced aggression. And it's not rare, it's not a personality flaw, and it's not your cat being mean. According to multiple feline behaviour clinics, it accounts for roughly 40% of all aggression cases they see. 40%. That means if you're sitting in a waiting room at a cat behaviourist's office, nearly half the people there are dealing with the exact same thing you just experienced. And here's what makes it so confusing. The cat came to you. They chose your lap. They were purring. Everything looked like an invitation. So what flipped? The short answer is that your cat has a threshold, a specific limit for how much touch they can take before the signal in their nervous system stops feeling good and starts feeling genuinely uncomfortable. Not metaphorically uncomfortable, physically. We'll get into the exact science of why in a minute. But here's what stopped me when I first read the research. The place your cat actually wants to be touched, and the places cats touch each other when they're bonding, they're the same exact zones, which means when you wander outside those zones, you haven't just missed a preference. You've crossed a line your cat considers completely obvious, one they've been communicating clearly, in a language you just haven't learned yet. That's what this video is about. Learning the language. Drop a same in the comments if this has happened to you. I want to see how many of us have sat there completely blindsided. 2. What's actually happening under their skin? Picture someone tapping you on the shoulder. Once, fine. Twice, okay. 10 times in the same spot, non-stop. By tap 15, you might grab their hand. Not because you're angry, because your nervous system has had enough. That's almost exactly what's happening under your cat's skin. A cat's skin is thinner than a human's. Their nerve endings sit closer to the surface, and those nerve endings don't just detect touch, they detect repetition. What starts as a pleasant stroke sends a signal to the brain that says, good, safe, nice. But when that same signal fires over and over in the same spot, the nervous system doesn't say more, it says stop. The sensation crosses a threshold, and on the other side of that threshold, it's not pleasure anymore. The Cat Care Society describes it as a painful nerve reaction. Not frustration, not attitude, actual physical discomfort. There's also something most people don't consider: static electricity. The ASPCA has specifically noted that repetitive stroking can build up static charge along a cat's fur, creating small shocks against their skin, invisible, unpredictable, and impossible for your cat to explain, except in the only way they know how. So when that bite comes, it isn't aggression in the way we usually mean the word. It's your cat's body finally saying what it's been trying to say for the last 2 minutes. And the hardest part, they told you it was coming. 3. The 5 warnings you walked right past. Here's what Dr. Lauren Finker and her team at Nottingham Trent University found when they studied how cats respond to petting. Cats don't snap without warning. They give a whole sequence of signals before they bite. Most people catch only the last one, the head turning sharply toward your hand, and call that the warning. It isn't. It's the deadline. The sequence usually starts subtle. The fur along your cat's back ripples. A wave of tiny muscle contractions under the skin. You can see it if you're watching. Most people aren't. Next comes the tail. It starts to flick. Not a slow, lazy sweep, but a quick, deliberate twitch. A flicking tail during petting is the equivalent of someone drumming their fingers. They're holding it together. Barely. Then the ears rotate backward, turning sideways, what some people call airplane ears. Not flat to the head yet, just angled away. The body's going on alert. After that, stillness. The purring stops. The leaning in stops. Your cat goes a little rigid and quiet, and that silence is loud if you know to listen. And then the head snaps toward your hand. That's not the beginning. That's the end. By that point, your cat has been asking you to stop for a solid minute. Not every cat shows all 5 in the same order. Some cats skip straight from ripple to bite. But they all give you something. Every single time. 4. The map your cat wishes you had. Here's where it gets genuinely interesting. And this is the part I couldn't stop thinking about. Cats have a specific social behaviour called allogrooming. It's when one cat grooms another. And researchers have documented exactly where they do it. The head, the chin, the neck, the ears. Only those areas. Never the belly. Never the lower back. Never the tail. A foundational 2004 study by Crowell Davis, Curtis and Knowles, published in the Journal of Feline Medicine and Surgery, found something remarkable. When a cat is being allogroomed on the head and neck, they lean into it. They tilt their chin up, they rotate their head to give better access. They purr, because those are the zones where cats have always touched the animals they trust. Here's what the same researchers concluded. When humans pet cats on the head and neck, they're doing exactly that, mimicking allogrooming. And cats respond cooperatively because it maps onto something deeply familiar, something that means you're safe, I trust you, we're bonded. But when you stroke down the back, when you pet the belly or the base of the tail, you've moved into territory that no cat has ever touched on another cat they love. You're off the map, and your cat, who's been perfectly clear about where the map ends, is now wondering why you won't listen. The bite isn't random, it's your cat saying, for the 5th time, not there. 5. Why the belly rollover is a trap. Let's talk about the belly. Because this one deserves its own moment. Your cat is lying on the couch. They roll over, full stretch, paws up, belly exposed, and every instinct in you says, that's an invitation. So you reach for it. And then they grab your arm with both paws and bite you. Here's what that belly rollover actually means. It means your cat feels completely safe. Safe enough to expose the most vulnerable part of their body, the place where their organs are, the place a predator would go first. Showing you their belly is an act of trust. It's them saying, I feel safe enough with you to be completely open. It is not an invitation to touch. When you reach for it anyway, you're not accepting the trust. You're disrupting it. The belly is packed with nerve endings, and even a gentle touch there can feel startling. More importantly, you've reached toward the most vulnerable spot on their body without permission. The same gesture that meant safety now feels like a breach. A 2015 study from the University of Lincoln confirmed that cats show the lowest stress and the most cooperative behavior when they're allowed to control the interaction. The belly rollover is your cat sharing a feeling, not extending an offer. Learn to just sit with it. Let it be what it is. That moment of pure trust, completely untouched, is actually one of the most beautiful things they'll ever give you. 6. How to pet a cat who actually wants to be petted. So what does petting that actually works look like? Dr. Finker's team at Nottingham Trent also studied this, specifically what happens when humans change their approach. The results were striking. When people let the cat initiate contact, offered their hand for a sniff, and gave the cat the freedom to walk away without following, 2 things happened. Cats stayed longer, and aggression dropped dramatically. The principle they named it is simple. Let the cat call the shots. In practice, that looks like this. Hold your hand out, low, near their nose, and wait. If they bump into it, that's a yes. If they sniff and turn away, that's a no, and it's not personal. Stick to the allogrooming zone, chin, cheeks, base of the ears, top of the head. Keep sessions short. 30 seconds of contact, then a pause. Let them decide if they want more. If they push into your hand, yes. If they sit still or look away, you're done. The other thing worth knowing, some cats genuinely don't love being petted the way we imagine. Long strokes down the back, heavy pressure, both hands at once. That's a human idea of affection. Some cats want a single finger scratching under the chin for 20 seconds and then they're good. That's not a cat who doesn't love you. That's a cat with a clear preference. Honour it. And watch what happens to your relationship. 7. The conversation that's been going on the whole time. Go back to the beginning for a second. Your cat settled in your lap. They were purring, you were petting them, and then it all fell apart. Here's what you know now that you didn't know then. Your cat was communicating the entire time. The ripple along their back, that was the first word. The flick of the tail, that was the second. The ears rotating away, the sudden stillness, the quiet where the purring used to be. All of it was language. A clear, consistent, entirely honest conversation that your cat has been trying to have with you every single time. They weren't being unpredictable. They were being completely transparent, in a language you just hadn't learned yet. And here's what I think matters most about all of this. Your cat didn't leave. They didn't decide you were unsafe or stop trusting you. They corrected you. The way you correct someone you're close enough to correct. The way you tell a friend gently that something isn't working because you'd rather say so than just walk away. A 2022 study from the University of Houston found that petting-related bites are almost always maintained by one thing: the cat's need to escape contact that's gone too far. Not anger. Escape. They just want the moment to end, and then, given a little space, they come back. They always come back. That's the part that gets me, every time.